Welcome to another episode of the PPSS Success Show. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, best-selling author, and every single day I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on the show, we have another fascinating guest. On this show, we interview celebrities, multimillionaires, business CEOs, artists, athletes to find out their path to success, how they're able to overcome challenges, adversity, and of course, their keys to success. And today's guest is definitely somebody who can share some light into that because she is very, very good at what she does. I've had the privilege of seeing her speak on stages, seeing her in conferences, networking events, and also at online platforms. And every time she speaks, people listen because she absolutely knows what she's doing and she's been able to help a lot of people become successful. In fact, she loves helping small business owners and also professional healthcare workers really get to know more about investing, real estate, and become successful in that because being successful in those areas is absolutely really difficult. And she's able to do that with ease. And she's helped a lot of people do that. In fact, she herself was a business owner. She was able to run a very, very successful coffee franchise to one of the top franchise leaders in Texas. She sold that and she's transferred those skills over to her real estate career now. And of course, sending those skill sets to her clients and her students as well. In fact, she jumped into real estate to save more time, which most people go, I don't know about that. Usually they go, wow, I'm even more busier now, but she's found a way to really make that successful. So I'm very, very excited to have her here. So please welcome managing partner of Houston Solutions Partners, investor, real estate expert, entrepreneur, Ms. KYRA SAM.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. It's always nice to speak with investors and especially people who are successful at it and jumping into it after another career that you were also very successful in. So please tell us, like, how did you get to where you are today? I know you ran a very successful coffee shop franchise and then now in real estate. Tell us about that process. How did you decide on this? And of course, your path.
Yeah. So, initially, my goal was to open more franchises. And then I was looking for a mentor and someone who can really show me how to do that, how to duplicate. And I found JT Fox online and started getting coached by him. And from there, joined the network of entrepreneurs and met great people like yourself, and kind of started learning about the world of real estate. So that was about a year and a half ago, and just started investing in some of those deals that were presented to me through the network, and really started digging deep and learning how to do deals and due diligence and all of the things that come with real estate, which did take up a lot of my time. But from there, within, a few months, I realized that I wanted to sell my coffee shop and move more into real estate investing and free up my time. So, and that's kind of what started the whole, real estate world for me. I sold in October. And then, really full time started putting all of my efforts into real estate.
Mm-hmm. Have you found that the journey between the two was difficult, or was it something like a lateral move at first and then now you're skyrocketing again?
So, of course there's a learning curve, but the more and more you, get on the calls and just get on the deep dives and hear everyone about their opportunities and doing your homework. And, it all kind of starts to click after some time. But yeah, you have to put time into it in the beginning. And still, I'm putting time into it now because now I'm raising capital for a developer here in Houston on big projects. So, yeah, it's a different type of time and effort because it's more flexible. I'm home more, but yet I'm doing more Zoom meetings. I'm doing more networking with people. So it's different and challenging, but I'm loving it.
Awesome. When it comes to the coffee shop, Um, how did you get into that? What was why a coffee shop at the beginning?
So growing up, I worked in the service industry. I worked for Smoothie King. I worked at a PJ's. So I kind of was familiar with both brands, and I always wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since I was a teenager. It was kind of in me, just work hard, move my way up at whatever job that I had, and I just always knew I wanted to have my own business. So, life happened, got married, had kids, and then when the kids were ready to go to school, we were in Houston. We still are in Houston, but where we live, they had a lot of growth happening, an up and coming suburb. And it just kind of clicked one day. I was just like, I think now is time. It'll be great to open up a PJ's here in Houston. And we needed a coffee shop in our community. So that's what kind of drove me to just go straight to it.
Wow. Now, when it comes to like owning a coffee shop franchise, you were able to build that franchise up to one of the top leaders in Texas, and very, very successful in keeping that going, doing very, very well. How do you compete with the big brands out there when there's like a Starbucks on every single corner and whatnot? You yourself, you're still able to compete with them, but you're able to do it in a way that's still allows you to be successful in it. So how do you compete with that?
So for me, it's just, being from New Orleans, it's just about hospitality and really creating that experience for your customers. The environment in our store was just very welcoming, and people just kind of wanted to. We had that family feeling where like our customers just they knew each other. They would come there to meet in the mornings. Like we just created a community in the coffee shop.
Hmm.
It wasn't just your grab and go hustle and bustle, like Starbucks, as an example. It's just a different environment, and people really, they really welcome that. And, they just, it created loyalty, and they wanted to see us succeed in the community.
Hmm.
So,
Now, when it came to that period of time where you go, okay, should I or should I not sell and move on with something? What was some of your deciding factors? I mean, for somebody who's successful in building something up, usually you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to let go because it's your baby kind of thing, right? You don't want to see it owned by somebody else. So, what was some of your deciding factors of making that choice of, okay, it's time to move on?
well, some of the deciding factors was that I saw an opportunity in real estate with how I can just have less stress. And, having a brick and mortar is, it's a 7 day a week, um, you know, no weekends off. It's very demanding.
Mhm.
Um, you want things to run a certain way and be, a successful store, then it just requires a lot of your time. So my biggest thing for me was time. um because with my kids being 10 and 11, I just kind of needed to get some of that time back for them and my family while they're still at a young impressionable age. So that was really the big thing, and then just seeing all the possibilities in real estate, how I can do this for the next 20 years or however long, and just have a lot of success with that.
Mhm. One of the other things that people start to notice when they make a big decision like that is people around them starts telling them to not do it. It's like, hey, you've been doing this so well. Why not keep going with it? Why not just hold on to it? And there's other people, oh, real estate's not going to work. It's too hard, all that kind of stuff. So how did you navigate through those negative sayers or people trying to go, hey, don't do it. We're trying to protect you. We're doing this for because we care. But then you go, no, no, this is the choice I want to make. How did you mindset wise adjust?
So of course, in the beginning, it's always like hard. like you said, letting your baby go, from what you started from the beginning until like what it is now. But kind of like once I had my mind made up, I was good with that decision. I missed it for a little while just because I was so used to doing it. But I guess because I already had my mind, because I was already starting to invest in real estate before, like 6 months before I sold, I was already in real estate, right? So it was kind of just a smooth transition for me to now have more time to put into it. So I wasn't really starting over because I had already started into a new business. So my mind was already made up once I kind of made the decision to sell.
What was that very first deal like?
Um, well, it was more of a passive investment deal. With someone in the group. So it was just, of course, being a little nervous doing your first one, but it felt good, just to invest in someone else's opportunity. And then from there, after the first one, it kind of got a little easier.
Is there a deal or a case where you go, wow, this is one of the best things I've ever done. It's exciting, it's fun, and you got more involved into it. Like, is there something that you could share with regards to a specific project that you've worked on?
Yeah, so now I'm working with a developer here in Houston, someone who I had met, one of the partners that I had met in my coffee shop several years ago. So he is a developer, a capital raiser, he works with private equity. So he asked me to come on and team up with them and partner with them, and help raise capital. So currently, we are working on 3 different projects. So just it's exciting, bringing new investors to the group and raising, helping them on their real estate journey, because some of them are experienced investors and then some of them are newbies, kind of how like I was. So it's exciting teaching others how there's other opportunity for people to invest and diversify their portfolios.
uh, Raising capital is one of the most difficult things that one can do, especially when the project may or may not be yours. You're working with somebody on it, but you're going out there and you're selling this dream. You're selling this vision for other people to jump into. What are some of your secret, what do you call it, superpowers that you're able to go, okay, this is how I talk to people, this is how I show them that this is the right fit for them, and educate them, like, because it's tough to raise funds. So how do you do it successfully?
So for me, it's just, being authentic with people, really finding out like their goals and what are they currently doing, in investing, and really finding a good fit for them, because every deal is different. Some are shorter, some are longer. So really just kind of finding out from the investor, their goals and helping them pick what's right for them, and educating them on, ways to invest, with their IRAs or, 401ks. Like some people don't even know that they can do that. So really just kind of seeing their, excitement when they're like, oh, I didn't know I can do that. Me teaching others how they can invest in real estate.
Mhm. What are some of the most common rejections that you get? Like, for instance, they go, "Oh no, we're part of we're investing with the banks and all that kind of stuff," or "Oh, my family does this and that doesn't work and whatnot." So, what do you usually get when people go, I don't know"? Like, how do you navigate through that?
So of course, there's rejections. People aren't, if they're not familiar with real estate, like I once was. You kind of just do what you know to do, right? The stock markets, mutual funds, uh, just kind of put your money with your financial advisor and let them control it. But, once you kind of educate people and let them know, like, you can have more control over your retirement and your investments, then sometimes the light bulb clicks, because some people do want to have more control. They just don't know that they can. Um, other rejections would be, the timing, or just some people aren't quite there yet. So it's just really cultivating that relationship and just giving them more time for when they are ready.
Mhm. You mentioned a few times about relationships, how your coffee shop was very, very successful because you built that relationship with your customers, your client base there, and then eventually it turns out that one of the partners you're working with right now is was a client at your coffee shop. So then picking the right projects, picking the right partners require an eye for good partnership and an ability to build good relationships as well. How do you see yourself as a person that builds relationships? What do you look for in a partner? What do you look for in a project, so that you're saying that this is what I want to work with?
Yeah. So, for me, the projects that I've invested in with others, just really getting a feel for that person, looking at their experience, making sure that they have done this before and have a good track record at what they're doing. So, the experience goes a long way. And, with the partners, what I look for in a partner is just someone that we can just talk well with each other, have that open communication, making sure that we can just, if it's something that I don't quite have a good, like, if I need more information on, or I'm not quite understanding, that they can make sure that, they explain everything to me, and they're willing to, like, spend the time to make sure that I do understand what I'm getting into. But, trust factor is very huge. Seeing how they treat others, how they talk to other investors, how they talk to the people in the office. I think that's all important, because, how people react to others is a big thing about how they really are.
No, hypothetically, if somebody goes, "Hey, I don't have the experience. I'm new in this. However, I have this great opportunity." How much of a deep dive do you do, or how do you vet out a project before you go, "This is what I want to do," or "This is the person I want to work with," given that their track record was may or may not be as strong as you would like it? How do you decide, "Hey, the number speaks for itself. It works on paper. This person's characteristics are very strong. It looks like their skill sets are very strong. This is somebody I want to give a chance to."
Right. So for me, it's also of talking to other investors that are uh, interested in the opportunity, and, me using their knowledge to kind of help guide me in the beginning too. So just being able to reach out to them and say, hey, I saw you on the call. What are your thoughts? What are you, really just kind of using them as a sounding board. The more experienced investors is what's kind of helped me make some decisions and take a risk.
There's a lot of people out there who are afraid to ask questions. You yourself, we were able to reach out to other people who's already been there, who's done that, to guide you along. For somebody who doesn't understand why they need to go and seek out coaching or mentorship, what do you tell them? Like, how do you convince people like that, you know what, coaching and mentorship is something that is needed. Look at me, I'm able to do this, this, and this.
Yeah, I mean, I look back and I'm like, for so long, I just for years, I was always trying to figure it out, like trying to like push myself and what, and that did work, for so long. It got me so far, and then I was like, okay, like I'm hitting 1 million in sales. Like, I was franchisee of the year one year, the year before I sold. I'm like, okay, like how can I take it to the next level? Right. So you need coaching for that. And then like in real estate, it's just, there's so many like, uh, it's just a lot, each project is different. So having that mentor or coach, someone that you can like, they may see something that you don't, right? That'll like open your eyes, and you may think it's a good opportunity and maybe it's not, or vice versa, So I think having someone who you can go to and who really has seen a lot of different deals or opportunities, whatever it is, like we all need that coach or mentor for different things. It may be for real estate, it may be for speaking, or whatever your weakness is. Like there's someone out there that can really help you overcome that and take things to the next level.
Now, when you decide to jump into real estate, you go, hey, I want to open some more time for myself. I want to spend more time with family. You went through a period of time where you're working at the coffee shop a long time, balancing life, family, work. How do you do that? How did you balance all those things and still be successful with what you do?
When I had the coffee shop,
Coffee shop and now, because real estate takes time too.
yeah, it does, but I try to I'm very strategic about my schedule. When I had the coffee shop, I mean, I knew like what I had to get done during the day, when my kids were in school, and then after school, if I didn't get things done, like I still had things that I had to do. Um, I would just kind of come and go. It was more flexible because I was the owner, but still really like planning out what needed to be done. And then on the weekends, I had to be there a lot. So really, having my husband step up and uh, take care of the kids while I was away. And then, it became like their second home too. So they were able to come there, and, some of the customers knew them, and just kind of like see mom work. So it was just a juggling act, but somehow I got it done. I made it work. And being in, now since then, just I do like my days are just planned out. Um, yeah, it's very planned. It's planning a lot. Having meetings, like when my husband has to watch the kids, when I'm doing a Zoom at 6 o'clock at night. So we just kind of balance things, and we really make sure that we schedule and plan.
Is there a ritual or routine that you go through to keep your energy up? Like to be able to do all that stuff? Is it coffee? A lot of coffee?
So, yeah, I have my coffee on the morning drive when I'm bringing the kids to school. I try to exercise when I can and fit that in on certain days of the week. Trying to eat healthy. Just It's just, I guess, when you're motivated to really just be successful and to get things done, the energy just kind of like, it just kind of keeps you going. I don't really sit around to let myself get, tired during the day. I'm always moving and have things going on. So at the end of the day is when I crash.
You work with a lot of healthcare professionals, helping them build their wealth, and also small business owners. Is there something that you say to them that usually they go, wow, I've never known, I think, thank you so much for telling me this because I never knew this existed?
Well, some people have never, invested in real estate. So I think once we kind of go over everything and they see the potential and like the higher ROI that they can get by parking their money in a different asset instead of like the stock market, they really see, like they have those light bulb moments on like, okay, so like that's how people are doing it, like that's how people are really building their wealth. So it's just really getting to know them and explaining, the opportunities.
Mhm. Now, currently you're working on that development project. Well, what do you see coming in the horizon for you? What are you excited for in the next year, a couple years?
Well, yeah, I mean the current things that we're working on. We have a lot of growth in Florida that's starting to happen. Some big development projects out there. So I'm looking forward to raising the capital for those or helping raise capital for the smaller projects because some of them are pretty big. And just being like a partner, being learning and just seeing how everything is coming from, getting things under contract to, entitlements to the site plan, just like really seeing everything in development is exciting to kind of see it all happen and come to fruition. So I'm happy to like be a part of that. And hopefully one day I can develop some land and build, like I don't know where the future is going to take me, but like I'm excited.
Awesome. I always love seeing people who are passionate in what they do because you could feel it in them when they speak. And when you talk about the excitement, it's sometimes like you're lost for words. Like, I'm excited. It's something that you can't specifically say what you're excited for. Is that feeling that kind of grows inside you? I've seen you speak a few times on stages. If you were to be put on the stage again and you had a few minutes to share the world one message that you want people to remember KYRA for, what would that be?
That would be just to, um, be kind to others. Every person that you come across, always, treat them with respect. Be like smile, just kind of get to know them because you never know, who you're going to meet and who you're going to like, just who can change your life. I mean, just meeting Vince and PJs, years ago, just kind of, it was just that, conversation of like, I never knew that this is where I would be. I always saw myself as, growing and opening more stores, but, look how things have turned out, but just opening up yourself, uh, just letting your guard down, and just being real with people. So
Awesome. Great words to live by. Before I let you go, I got 5 quick rapid fire questions for you. Just give me the first thing that comes to mind. So you're stranded on the deserted island, one food to eat for the rest of your life, no consequence. You'll still be healthy, you'll still have energy. What's that one food?
salmon.
Salmon?
Mhm.
Nice. Hollywood calls and goes, "Hey, KYRA, we love your story. We would love to do a biopic on you. Who would you cast to play you?"
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley shows up at your door and goes, "Hey, I got casted to play you in this role. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other." And you go, "No problem. Let's hang out for the whole night." What does that night look like? Where are you guys? Where are you? What are you doing? What activities are you having fun with? And what's that meal that you guys would have?
I would say going to a nice, dinner, maybe Steak 48 here in Houston. Just kind of having some drinks before, and just taking it easy, getting to know each other, ask some questions, just being real with one another. And after that, maybe going somewhere else for dessert, just trying to absorb as much time as I can, and getting to know one another.
Awesome. You go skydiving, let's say, and you're able to take one item with you for this amazing photo op where you're holding this item while you're skydiving. It could be any item you want. What would that be?
That's a tricky one. Uh, Skydiving. I'm trying to think. Maybe like a plushie, a stuffed animal of my pup.
Awesome. And my last question is, but before I get to that, give me a number from 1 to 4.
2.
1, 2. So if you had to compare success to a marathon, how is success like a marathon?
Well, you have to train for it, right? So you have to put in the time. You have to make sure that you're dedicating yourself to training, you know, working out, getting stronger, being able to get those miles in under a certain, mile per minute, or, so with success, you just have to, success doesn't come, overnight. It is like a marathon. You have to put in the time, you have to put in the grit, you have to keep going, and just keep going every day until you get to where you want to be.
Awesome. So that's how success is like a marathon. Thank you very much for your time. I learned a lot, and am very excited about what's coming on the horizon for you. And I'm excited to see some of these projects as well. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, to learn more about what you do and some of the opportunities that you have?
Yeah. So, they can reach out on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as well, LinkedIn, KYRA SAM. You can, look me up that way. I'm also on TikTok, trying to get on the different platforms. But reach out, send me a message. I would love to connect, and yeah, any of those ways.
Great. And any final words from you?
No, thank you so much for today and that wonderful introduction that you gave me. I look forward to seeing you in November. And, to everyone out there, just if you want to reach out, I would love to talk to you about the different things that we have going on, and see how we can work together and how I can add value to you in the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So everybody else, make sure you connect with KYRA. Lots of great opportunities and lots of great things to learn just based on what she's been talking about today. And always a fun person to talk to as well. So make sure you connect with her. Once again, she's KYRA. My name is Fong. Until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.